Hey everybody, Diane Haggerty, Grassroots Taxes. It's been a long summer, but I'm back and I've got some really important information for you right now. People in the state of Arkansas, if you're having money troubles, like everybody else, about to get evicted, can't pay your rent, this is for you. Guess what? There's a rental assistance grant coming from the state of Arkansas. Like, whoever thought anybody would help anybody that rents in Arkansas, but guess what? There's a rental assistance grant coming, and I'm here to help you figure it out. So, what is it? It is federal money from the CARES Act that was given to Arkansas, and they had to figure out how to spend it by December 31st. And this is how they're figuring it out. They have the business grant, and then there's the rental grant. So let's talk about the rental grant here. Who can apply for it? Arkansas residents, okay? If you make less than half of the median income. Now, what's median income? If you look at the HUD, H-U-D website and look for median income, it'll tell you the median income for your county. In Washington County, half the median income is like $35,000. So if you're making less than $35,000, you can probably apply for this grant. If you're in Benton County, even a little bit more. If you're in some of the other counties around here, it may be a little less. So check the website, but if you're nowhere near that, believe me, you can apply for the rental assistance grant. So you must have a past due notice, pending eviction notice, or have been recently evicted, or already be homeless. And you have to be unable to pay because of a reason for COVID-19. So, like, what's not a COVID reason? I mean, everything. You got fired, your business closed, you can't go in, there's no money to have everybody at work, things are shutting down, the economy sucks. Whatever your problem is, it's probably COVID related, but you need to get clear on what your COVID related problem is. So, let's talk about another factor in this grant, and it's a really big factor that we need to talk about. So that's this landlord statement. Okay, they're going to ask for this. You go to your landlord and see if he'll sign a statement. I don't have a form yet. There's probably going to be a form. Will your landlord sign that says they will waive all your late fees? Well, I know there's a very big rental company. I don't know if they're going to waive their late fees or not. I'm going to try and find out, and I'll let you know if I find out. But they need to waive all the late fees, not raise your rent, and not evict you. So if they sign this statement, we're going to call this Plan A. I don't know what it's really called, but this is what I'm calling it. From Plan A, what can you get? If you get a statement from your landlord saying that they're, again, waive your late fees, not raise your rent, not evict you, you will get 2.5 months of your rent paid, well, up to 2.5 months, depending on how far you are behind, to pay directly to the landlord based on that statement. Your rent goes away. Easy peasy. This is fantastic. This is the best news that's going to be for so many people. But what about if you can't get the landlord statement? Then what? So I'm going to call that Plan B. If you can't get a landlord statement, or if 2.5 months rent plus all the cash you can come up with doesn't catch you up. So if you're like 4 or 5 months behind and you haven't paid your rent, they're not going to throw you out. But there's no way you can catch up with 2.5 months rent. It's just you're further behind and you don't have the cash. You can't get caught up. Or if they already evicted you, I know there's a moratorium on eviction, but guess what? Some people just don't care. Or if you're homeless. So you can apply for this if you're homeless, if you've already been evicted, if you're more than 2.5 months behind, or if you can't get a landlord statement, you're going to go with Plan B. Mind you, if you know anybody who's homeless, make sure they watch this video. Okay, so what do you get if you have these other conditions and you can't get the landlord statement? You will get the security deposit and 1.5 months rent at a new place. How about that, right? So you still have to apply at a new place, you have to find a place, you have to be ready to move in, you have to talk to the landlord, and the money's going to go directly to the landlord. But you can get all this stuff if you do the footwork for it and apply for the grant. So what do you need to apply? Of course, there's regulations. What do you need to apply? You need a valid ID. I know it's a problem sometimes for some people, but you got to have a valid ID to get this grant. You need a copy of your late notices or your eviction notice. You need a copy of your lease and your rental agreement, whichever it is. You need proof of your last month's gross income. This is because they need to make sure that you're under the income limit. So you need your pay stubs. If you're self-employed or you're doing gigs or whatever, whatever you've deposited, you need to show how much money you made last month. You need a statement saying it's due to a COVID-19 reason. And if you can get the landlord statement, you need that. If you can't get the landlord statement, those are the things you need. Valid ID, your late notices or eviction notices. Everybody gets them on their door every month. If you're a day late, you get the eviction notice on your door, right? Copy of your original lease or rental agreement, and proof of your income. So, how do you apply? ArkansasFreshStart.com. It's going to be here in the bottom. You're going to be able to see this. So, ArkansasFreshStart.com. Last time I checked the website, it was not yet functional. So it looks like, well, what is this? What kind of crap is this, Diane? You're just making stuff up. No. I was told by an Arkansas state legislator that this is what's happening. He sent me the information on it, on what the grant is. Just the website's not up yet. Do I know when it's going to go live? No. Why am I telling you this now? Because the grants are going to be limited, and you need to look at that website daily. As soon as it pops up, you need to be ready to apply because the grants are limited, and you know how hard it is to get free stuff. If you want to get free stuff, you need to be out there first. So what do you need to do? You need to make sure you have internet available. You need to make sure your stuff is scanned. How do you get stuff scanned? I don't know. The library's closed right now. I don't know if you can get stuff scanned. Ask somebody. Ask somebody to help you scan stuff. Scan stuff with your phone. Find all the documents. Do this stuff now. Today. Start finding your lease. Take a picture of every page. Make sure that you have that. Most important, if you know anybody that is homeless right now or does not have a place or is couch surfing or whatever you want to call it, if they need help, make sure they apply for this grant. They can get a month and a half of rent plus the security deposit in a new place. If the landlord agrees, they can get their, so that's it. You're in, you can get a job, and by the time you get your first paycheck, you can start paying the rent. This will get some people off the street. So please tell everybody you know. So make sure you can apply for the grant. If this was helpful, be sure to share this video with your friends, anybody you know that might need it. Subscribe to my channel. And of course, I'm Diane Haggerty, Grassroots Taxes, and I've got your back.